Hello, hello, hello. How are you doing? Welcome to a lesson on grammar by Ini Akpan. This is a Speak and Write Well resources um, video lesson. And today we're talking about me, myself, and I. Me, myself, and I. So, how are you doing, first of all? I hope you're doing great. Great. Thank you very much for downloading this video. I mean, if you're watching this, it means you downloaded it. Thank you. Thank you for downloading, and I hope that this lesson will really help you. Okay, so today we are looking at me, myself, and I, and we want to look at how they can be used correctly in sentences. I'm sure you're familiar with the term me, myself, and I. We use it jokingly, jocularly, like who did it? Me, myself, and I. But really, when should we use these pronouns in sentences? Okay, me, myself, and I are first singular pronouns. They are first singular pronouns. They are used to represent the first person in a sentence. Right now, in English language, the number one person is the individual speaking. So, like for example, I am number one. Do you understand? In English language, the second person happens to be you, while the third person is the third party, it, he, she. All right, now, so me, myself, and I are first singular pronouns. They are used to represent the first person in a sentence. As you can see the graphic there, me, myself, and I. I. When should I use I? I is a subject pronoun. I is a subject pronoun. Now, the subject noun or pronoun in a sentence is the entity performing the action in that sentence. For example, Ini kicked the cat. Now, I used Sharon in the notes, but let's use Ini to make it help you understand better. Ini kicked the cat. Who kicked the cat? Ini did. Ini kicked the cat. Now, in this sentence, Ini did the kicking, so Ini is the subject. And like I gave in the example, like you're reading now, Sharon kicked the cat. Who did the kicking? Sharon. So Sharon is a subject in that sentence. Therefore, I is usually used to show that the first person in the sentence is performing the action. So when we are referring to the first person, the first party in a sentence, and that first party is performing the action, we use I. So like I said, Ini kicked the cat. Now, I am Ini, right? I am the one speaking. I am the one who kicked the cat. It would be right to say I kicked the cat. Okay. Another example is Ini is an editor and speech coach. In that case, I would say I am an editor and speech coach. Why? Because I am the subject. I am the person who is the editor. I am the one who is a speech coach. I am the one doing the job of the editor and speech coach in that sentence. So I am the subject. I is used. Other examples are I have a master's in managerial psychology. Okay, so who has the master's? I do. I teach communication skills. Who teaches communication skills? I do. Juanita and I are siblings. Who are siblings? I am a sibling to Juanita. So Juanita and I are siblings. We are the siblings. We are the subject. Okay? David and I took a walk in the park. Who walked in the park? David and I walked in the park. Mary, Bola, and I are having supper. Who is having supper? I am having supper. Bola is having supper. Mary is having supper. So in that sentence, you use the pronoun I. Now, you need to note that I usually comes last when listing more than one subject within a sentence. So if you have more than one subject, for example, we have Mary, Bola, and I are having supper. Three of us are having supper. Okay, so it is proper to use I last. It would be wrong to say I, Mary, and Bola are having supper. As interesting as I, sounds, you should use it last when listing several subjects within a sentence. So it is wrong to say I and my wife are coming. Me, an object pronoun. We've looked at I. We said that I is a subject pronoun. You use I when you are the subject. Now, me, you use me when you are the object. And who is the object? The object in a sentence is the pronoun that is being acted upon. It is the pronoun that receives the action or that shows the result of the action in that sentence. So, Sharon kicked the cat. Wow! Who did Sharon kick? The cat! Who was kicked? The cat. Who was acted upon? The cat. Do you understand that? So the cat is the object of Sharon's action. Sharon did the kicking. Sharon is the subject. But the cat received that action. The cat was acted upon. The cat was kicked. So the cat is the object of Sharon's action. When you are the object of a verb or preposition in a sentence, you should always use me. Now, you see, you don't always have to be the object of a verb, or when you have objects of a verb when you have objects in a sentence, they are not always objects of a verb. Sometimes they are objects of a preposition. And if you've been following my radio broadcast, you will remember that we talked about parts of speech. But not to worry if you've not been following that. In subsequent lessons, I'm going to deal with the various parts of speech and we will discuss prepositions extensively. So, an example is he spoke to me. Now you have a verb in that sentence, spoke. Who spoke? He did. Who did he speak to? Me. So me there is the object of the verb spoke. Then you also have another example. It is in me. Where is it? In me. Right? So me is the object of the preposition in. Me is the object of the preposition me, not the object of a verb now. The verb we have there is the verb that shows a state of existence. So me in that case is the object of the preposition. It is in me. So let's say I took your sweet, for example, and you came looking for your sweet and I told you, well, your sweet is inside of me. Okay, I hope you don't love sweets that much so you don't come chasing me for your sweet. Other examples are this is from my friend and me. Now, I need you to pay attention here. You see, me is a very dicey pronoun. I see lots of people make lots of mistakes when it comes to me because we're actually used to my friend and I, my husband and I, my sisters and I, we are used to a, listing as an object or a subject and I. So and I is common, very common. But you rarely hear people say me when listing different objects. For example, this is from my friend and I is more popular than this is from my friend and me. And so sometimes we get into that state of it's what I hear, it's what I'm used to, it's what sounds correct. Meanwhile, it's not correct in any way. So, it would be wrong to say this is from I, right? Because you're talking of an object. Me there is the object of the preposition from. From is a preposition there. Do you understand? So me is the object of the preposition from. It is wrong to say this is from my friend and I. All right. When you are done, address them to Becky, Ade, and me. The gift is for my husband and me. Would you like to have a chat with me in my office? Now, I need you to pay attention to something. I have highlighted it in the subsequent slide, but let me talk about it now. If you are not sure whether to use I or me, I would like you to remove the other objects, and that would help you know better. Now, if I said this is from I, that would be wrong, isn't it? So let's remove my friend. Okay, let's remove my friend. Then let's say this is from me. You understand that, don't you? Remove and this is from me. When you are done, address them to me. You see, I have highlighted Becky, Ade, and now you have just me. All right. When you are done, address them to me. You wouldn't say when you are done, address them to I, because the person taking the action there is the second person referred to there as you. So when you are done, address them to me. I am the one you are to address them to. I am the recipient of that address. I am the recipient of that action. So address them to me. The gift is for me. I'm highlighting my husband and right there. So the gift is for me. I am the object. I am the one receiving the gift. Would you like to have a chat with me in my office? So who is having the chat? You. Who are you having the chat with? Me. All right. So that shows that when you're referring to yourself now in a sentence and you are the object of the action, you are the recipient of the action, you are being acted upon, you should use me. I want you to do a simple task for me. Kindly write 3 more examples in your notepad right now. It will help you recall this lesson. Do it right away. Thank you. Oh, and here we are. Myself. Remember, we are talking about me, myself, and I. So we have talked about I. We have talked about me. Now we're talking about myself. What is myself? Myself is a reflexive pronoun. Myself is a reflexive pronoun. And when should we use a reflexive pronoun? Reflexive pronouns are used when the subject and the object of the verbs in a sentence are the same entity. Now, when we talk about reflexive pronouns, I would like you to picture yourself rather, standing in front of your mirror. When you stand before your mirror, you are the one standing before the mirror. You are also the one being reflected by the mirror. Did you understand now? So you are reflecting your own image. That's what we call reflexive pronouns. That's what we talk about when we talk about reflexive pronouns. They are reflecting the same person. Okay, so when you stand before the mirror, you do not see your brother, your sister, your spouse, your neighbor. You don't see the passerby. Who do you see? You see yourself, because you are the one standing before the mirror. In the same way, reflexive pronouns are used when the subject and the object of the verbs in a sentence are the same entity. So if the object and the subject refer to the same person or the same thing, you use a reflexive pronoun. They are also used for emphasis. You use a reflexive pronoun for emphasis. When you want to emphasize an action or you want to emphasize a person, you use a reflexive pronoun. Example: Ini is talking to Ini. In that case, I'm using 2 nouns, right? Ini. So you can see that Ini is talking to Ini, the same person. Ini is the object, Ini is the subject. In that case, it would be I am talking to myself. Who is the subject there? I, Ini. Who am I talking to? I'm talking to me. Me in that case is replaced with myself. When you have the object and the subject in the same sentence as the same entity, you do not use me, you use myself. Of course, this applies to other pronouns. You saw Ini slap Ini on the wrist. You saw me slap myself on the wrist. Now, I hope you understand that I'm using Ini so you could relate to this, because I am talking and I am Ini. Alright, so I'm using Ini so you would be able to relate with the lesson. So you saw me slap myself on the wrist. I slapped myself on the wrist. That's another way to say that. But I'm talking about you seeing me. Do you understand? So you saw me. You are the subject there. What did you do? You saw. And who did you see? You saw me. Alright, so in that case, I am the object. But as an object, I also played another part as a subject. Do you understand? I also did an action. I did an action on myself, So while I was carrying out the action, I was also carrying out the action on the person I was carrying out the action on is the same person that is carrying out the action. So I was both the subject and the object in that sentence. But you see, I am the secondary subject. All right. Initially, I am the object. So you see, you saw me slap myself on the wrist. More examples. I drove to the fair myself. Now you can see that that is used for emphasis. I drove to the fair myself. Just in case you were doubting that I drove there, I'm telling you now that I drove there myself. Nobody took me there. I drove there myself. Okay? I bought the car myself. I bought the car myself. I didn't need your help. I bought it myself. I will do it myself. I will do it myself. You see, in these cases, the myself there is used for emphasis. You saw me cook the meal myself. I cooked the meal myself, still for emphasis. He gave me a song to sing to myself. Who did I sing the song to? I sang the song to myself. Now, I need you to note that if you have not used I or me previously in a sentence, you should not use myself. It's just like seeing a reflection of yourself in a mirror when you are not standing before that mirror. That's absurd, isn't it? Except if you are standing before a mirror, you cannot have a reflection of yourself in that mirror. Also, if you have not used I or me in a sentence, you should not use myself in that same sentence. So myself cannot appear alone. Final tips. If you're ever in doubt when multiple objects or subjects are used in a sentence, remove the other subject or the other objects to find the correct pronoun form to use. The gift is for my husband and me. You remove my husband and the gift is for me. Okay? Bola, Bose and I are going to the party. Remove Bola, Bose and say I am going to the party. Yay! We have come to the end of this lesson. I can't believe I just said that. We have come to the end of this lesson and I hope you learned something from it. If you did, please share with your friends, share this video with your friends. Encourage somebody to learn what you have learned. I believe that learning is fun when we learn with others, and I believe you had a great time. So invite your friends to subscribe to the website www.iniakpan.com, and there you will have more resources from Speak and Write Well resources. And yes, we carry out at Speak and Write Well resources. We carry out communications coaching. We train individuals and staffs of organizations. We also provide excellent editing services for books and web content. Send your questions, inquiries, and feedback to speakandwritewell@iniakpan.com. I would love to hear from you. And this is just the first in a series of lessons. So I would like to hear what what this video meant to you. Were you able to learn from it? Did you enjoy it? Do you think I should be louder? Just give me feedback, please. And thank you very much for listening. Thank you for downloading. Have a great day. Till next time. Bye.